Start with Chris.
I have Gary here.
Hey, Brad. Just Marcus Smart tonight. He's long been a player whose intangibles are so significant, but is this really a postseason and a season where he is making that pitch to be at that superstar type of level with the way he affects the game, particularly in the fourth?
Marcus has always affected winning in a big way. He does whatever it needs to be done to win. And tonight we needed a little jolt offensively. We missed some open shots against that zone, at the end of the third, early fourth. But then he made a bunch in a row and, loosens up the D, and now we can drive the ball. I still think we missed some plays and missed some reads late, but Marcus has been a winning player since he's gotten here. I've said many times, we've been in the playoffs every year since he's been here, and that's not a coincidence.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
What did you guys do? They were up 12. You guys were kind of clinging, hanging on. What did you guys do early fourth? I mean, I know Marcus went off, but defensively, they seem to be a little bit more confused than you guys.
Yeah, and then I thought our little group, when Grant Williams was out there, I thought he gave us great minutes, rebounding the ball and guarding his yard on Siakam a few times. And but then Marcus obviously makes the big shots, but our defense went up to a different level too. They're a hard team to play against. They keep coming at you, down 12, and then, a couple of those threes go in, that game can change pretty quick. But one thing's for certain, when we leave tonight, we know that we got a hell of a battle on Thursday. So get in the ice baths, whatever you need to do, because it's going to be right back like that on Thursday.
Question in person, Chris Mannix.
Brett, Marcus was 1 for 7 from three going into that fourth quarter. We've seen time and again, no matter what his numbers are, he's just going to keep shooting. He's got the confidence in his shot. How would you describe that confidence he has in his shot to keep going even when it's not falling?
Well, he's been a high 30s three-point shooter each of the last 2 years. He's a good shooter. When he first came into the league, I think he was going to focus on that, work on it, improve, and he has now made himself into that. That's been a lot of hard work on his part, and he deserves the credit for that. So good shooters should have confidence and should step into it like they know they're going to make it. And we have confidence in him and those other guys. And, again, I thought we missed some plays, some kickouts tonight that hopefully we make, but we made enough to him in that stretch that he got going.
Ryan Robb.
Brad, we talked about Marcus already. Kemba had a real rough start to that game, but finished strong for you guys too. Just the impact of those two guys to, overlook some early struggles and not hesitate to take those shots down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't think you can say enough about that. That's the part, like Chris was just referring to, kind of that unwavering confidence that if you just keep doing the right things, the ball will find the net. And I'll tell you what, Kemba's shots were huge. The pull-up off the side ball screen with about a minute and a half or 2 minutes left was enormous. So for him to struggle that night and then come back and make it was great.
Abby Chin.
Keep running through them, Brad. Jason Tatum had a career high in playoff points and assists tonight. I know we've talked about it a lot in this restart, but just what kind of confidence, how different of a player is he right now?
Yeah, I thought he was different tonight than even in game one. I thought that he attacked quicker. When he caught the ball, he went right to what he was going to try to get to, and that was a big part of him being able to score the ball tonight. Obviously, he makes tough shots, but I think that at the end of the day, he's a guy that we know can get to his spots. We know he can get his shots. And the way defenses are guarding him, they're really getting up under him. And so he's going to have to make those moves quick. I thought he adjusted that well tonight.
Becca Harlow.
Coach, you mentioned Williams there, but you've talked about in the past how you have the ability to play, 5-6 guys are going to play a lot of minutes. And then depending on the matchup, you dig into your bench. When you take a look at what he was able to do offensively in that first half when Kemba was struggling to score, just a little bit more on what you saw from him and how he's evolving as a player.
He's the only reason we were in the game in the first quarter. I did not think we started well. I thought our first 6 minutes were sloppy, and I didn't think we got to our spots. I think the pace that Toronto was playing at was much different than our pace. But when he came in, he kind of changed it for us and made enough plays to get us, into the quarter tied. And so, he's been great. But we're going to keep rotating those guys. I came really close to putting Canner in when we were down 12 because I know he can score and rebound. But other guys are able to step up, and everybody else just has to be ready. But that rotating center spot's been good for us.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
After the Tatum technical kind of changed kind of the flow, you guys had to go 2 possessions. What do you tell your guys? Then also on the last play, like Nick didn't call a timeout, it was kind of a scramble. How do you try to defend without fouling?
Tremendous defense by Tatum on the last play, because it's so easy when you're going in transition to back up inside that 3 and give a 3. But for him to stop outside the 3 and use his length and not foul, but certainly impacted the shot, is really tremendous and made up for his technical.
Mark Murphy.
Brad, I believe it was also a career high playoff free throw makes for Tatum. How much of a sign of the maturity in his game is just the fact that he's getting to the line so frequently now?
Well, that was the same thing I talked about earlier, Mark. I just thought it's hard to get to where you want to go if you don't attack these guys quickly off the catch, where you don't have space. They changed their pick and roll coverages a little bit, had their bigs back some to take away some of those corners that we got the other day, which was, certainly challenged us in a lot of ways. And they're so flexible and so well coached that they just keep you on your toes the whole time. But the talking point for Tatum coming into the day, and he's the one that's got to decide to do it, is just making quick decisions when he catches the ball. And he did that. And once he gets a step by, he's hard to guard. He can slither by you, he can pull up, but he's going to draw a lot of attention. And I thought he did a good job with not only getting the line, but trying to get some man ones. And I think he can finish even better. That's the exciting part.
Final question for Coach Stevens, Jared Weiss.
You've had a lot of success keeping Pascal Siakam at bay the first couple games, not allowing him to get baseline when he posts up, keeping bodies in front of him as he tries to attack down the middle. Just what can you say about what Marcus and Grant were doing tonight to be able to just prevent Siakam from getting that deep step into the paint?
Taylor guarded in the majority of the minutes. And we're just trying as much as we can. Marcus guarded him. Great play on the switch when we didn't get the ball back, when he was on the line, when he saved it. But great play by Marcus to switch and contain Siakam. And then Grant did do a good job. Shemi did a good job last game. We're just going to keep throwing our biggest, strongest guys in there because he's a load going downhill.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.